Rain lashes against the windows, each drop a tiny hammer against the glass. The storm outside is relentless, a symphony of chaos that drowns out all other sounds. The wind howls like a banshee, rattling the old single-paned glass, making the entire house shudder with each gust. The wind's fury is unending, a constant reminder of nature's raw power. It feels as though the very walls of the house are being tested, their strength challenged by the storm's relentless assault. I hug my knees to my chest, seeking comfort in the worn fabric of my oversized sweater, the only barrier between me and the cold, creeping dread that fills the room. The power flickers, casting the room into brief moments of darkness. My heart jumps with each flicker, a silent prayer on my lips that the lights will stay on. Another flicker. Shadows dance across the room, growing longer, more menacing with each passing second. The storm outside is nothing compared to the storm brewing within me. Fear, cold and clammy, wraps its fingers around my throat, squeezing tighter with each flicker of the lights. The house creaks and groans as if it too is afraid of the storm. I'm trapped, alone in this creaking house, with the storm raging outside and something unsettling brewing within. The TV flickers to life, a burst of static interrupting the infomercial I hadn't realized I was watching. My reflection stares back from the blank screen. My hair is a mess, eyes wide and bloodshot. I look like a ghost haunting a screen, a prisoner in her own home. The storm outside is a mirror of the turmoil within. Each lightning strike a flash of my own fear, each thunderclap a reminder of my isolation. The storm shows no signs of letting up, and neither does the fear that grips me. I can hear the wind howling, the rain lashing, and the house creaking, but it's the silence within that is the most deafening. The TV flickers again, and for a moment I think I see a ghostly figure in the screen, a reflection of my own haunted face. I am alone, but not alone. The storm is my only companion, and it is a cruel one. The storm outside rages on, a relentless force of nature that mirrors the storm within me. Each gust of wind, each flash of lightning, each rumble of thunder is a reminder of my isolation, my fear, my vulnerability. I am trapped in this old, creaking house, with only the storm for company. And as the night wears on, I can't help but wonder if the storm will ever end, or if it will consume me entirely. The TV flickers to life once more, the static a harsh contrast to the silence of the house. My reflection stares back at me, a ghostly figure in the screen. I am a prisoner in my own home, haunted by the storm outside and the fear within. The storm is relentless, and so is my fear. And as the night drags on, I can't help but feel that the storm is not just outside, but within me as well. My reflection in the TV screen is a haunting reminder of my own fear and isolation. My hair is a mess, my eyes wide and bloodshot. I look like a ghost, a prisoner in my own home. The storm outside is a mirror of the turmoil within, each lightning strike a flash of my own fear, each thunderclap a reminder of my isolation. I am alone, but not alone. The storm is my only companion, and it is a cruel one. The storm outside rages on, a relentless force of nature that mirrors the storm within me. Each gust of wind, each flash of lightning, each rumble of thunder is a reminder of my isolation, my fear, my vulnerability. I am trapped in this old, creaking house, with only the storm for company. And as the night wears on, I can't help but wonder if the storm will ever end, or if it will consume me entirely. The wind screams, a tortured cry that echoes my own growing fear. It feels as though the very elements are conspiring against me, each gust a reminder of the chaos outside and within. Each gust feels like a blow against the walls, against my sanity. The windows rattle violently as if they too are desperate to escape the storm's relentless assault. The house, once a sanctuary, now feels like a fragile shell, barely holding back the fury outside. The house groans in protest, a symphony of creaks and pops that sets my teeth on edge. Every sound is amplified in the darkness, each creak a whisper of the house's age and the secrets it holds. The wooden floors, once familiar, now seem to mock my every step, their creaks a reminder of my isolation. The room seems to shrink around me, the walls closing in with each flash of lightning. The brief illuminations cast eerie shadows that dance on the walls, making the room feel even smaller, more suffocating. It's as if the storm outside is trying to invade my very soul, to crush me under its weight. The shadows lengthen, twisting into grotesque shapes that seem to writhe just beyond the edge of my vision. They move with a life of their own, a macabre ballet that speaks of unseen horrors lurking in the dark. Each shadow seems to tell a story, a tale of fear and despair that mirrors my own. My pulse quickens, a frantic rhythm against the deafening roar of the storm. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest, each beat a reminder of my vulnerability. The storm's fury is mirrored in my own racing thoughts, a tempest of fear and uncertainty. I try to focus on my breathing, on the feel of the worn fabric beneath my fingertips. The texture is a small comfort, a tangible connection to reality amidst the chaos. I grip it tightly as if it can anchor me, keep me from being swept away by the storm's relentless force. Anything to ground myself, to chase away the growing sense of dread that threatens to consume me. I clutch the blanket, its familiar weight a small barrier against the encroaching darkness. But even this small comfort feels tenuous, as if it could be ripped away at any moment. But the shadows hold me captive, their silent dance a macabre ballet that speaks of unseen horrors. They move with a sinister grace, each twist and turn a reminder of the unknown terrors that lurk just out of sight. I am a prisoner in my own home, held captive by the storm and the shadows it casts. I haven't looked in a real mirror for days. I can't. Not anymore, not since, well, it doesn't matter now. The reflection in the TV screen is haunting enough. My skin, once vibrant, now holds the pallor of long confinement. Dark circles underline my eyes, testament to sleepless nights and the nightmares that haunt my waking hours. My lips are chapped, cracked from dehydration and the constant nervous chewing I can't seem to stop. The face staring back at me is a stranger's, hollowed cheeks, haunted eyes, a ghost of the woman I used to be before the isolation, before the shadows started whispering my name. The phone lines have been down for days. No internet, no way to reach the outside world. Not that anyone would notice my absence, not anymore. My friends, my family, I pushed them all away. The isolation was a conscious choice at first, a way to cope with the grief, the guilt. But now, the silence is deafening. Every unanswered call, every unanswered text, echoes the growing chasm between me and the world outside. I am adrift, lost in a sea of my own making, with no land in sight. Section 5. Static and Whispers. The TV flickers again, the static growing louder, more insistent. It's a sound that seems to fill the entire room, pressing in on me from all sides. The darkness around me feels alive, pulsing with the rhythm of the static. Each flicker of the screen casts eerie shadows that dance on the walls, creating an unsettling atmosphere. I try to look away, but my eyes are glued to the screen. It's as if an invisible force is holding my gaze, compelling me to watch. The static is mesmerizing, a chaotic symphony that drowns out all other thoughts. My mind races, trying to make sense of the patterns in the noise, but it's all just a jumble of white and black. It's as if something is trying to break through, to reach out from the other side. The shadows on the screen seem to shift and move, forming shapes that are almost but not quite recognizable. I can feel a presence, something lurking just beyond the veil of static, trying to make contact. And then I hear it, a whisper, faint but unmistakable, weaving its way through the static. My name. It's spoken with a chilling familiarity that sends shivers down my spine. The voice is soft, almost gentle, but there's an edge to it, a hint of something dark and sinister. Spoken with a chilling familiarity that sends shivers down my spine. My breath catches in my throat and I feel a cold sweat break out on my forehead. The room seems to grow colder, the air thick with an unspoken dread. I want to run, to escape the oppressive atmosphere, but I can't move. My breath catches in my throat. My heart pounds against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the roar of the storm outside. The sound of the rain and wind is almost drowned out by the static, but I can still hear it, a constant reminder of the world outside this dark room. My heart pounds against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the roar of the storm. I can feel the blood rushing in my ears, a deafening roar that almost matches the intensity of the static. My chest rises and falls rapidly, each breath a struggle against the suffocating tension in the room. I strain to hear, to make sense of the whispers, but the static rises again, swallowing the voice before I can decipher its message. The frustration is overwhelming, a gnawing sense of helplessness that eats away at my resolve. I lean in closer, desperate to catch even a fragment of the message, but it's no use. The static is relentless, a barrier that I can't break through. Section 6. Darkness falls. The candle on the coffee table flickers and dies, plunging the room into darkness. The shadows seem to surge forward, engulfing me in their cold embrace. I'm lost in a sea of black, the storm raging outside, a symphony of chaos that mirrors the turmoil within. Panic claws at my throat, I can't breathe. The darkness presses down on me, suffocating, relentless. I scramble for my phone, my lifeline, but my trembling fingers can't find the buttons. The whispers start again, louder this time, closer. They seem to come from all around me, taunting, threatening. I squeeze my eyes shut, but the darkness offers no escape. Section 7. A flicker of hope. And then, just as suddenly as it went out, the power surges back on. The room floods with light, momentarily blinding. I blink, disoriented, my heart still pounding against my ribs like a trapped bird. Relief washes over me, sweet and intoxicating. The shadows retreat, shrinking back into their corners. The whispers fade, replaced by the familiar hum of the refrigerator and the steady drumming of rain against the windows. I draw in a shaky breath, the air burning my lungs. I'm safe, it was just the storm, just my imagination playing tricks on me in the dark. Section 8. The face returns. I glance at the TV. The screen is no longer blank. My reflection stares back at me, eyes wide, mirroring my own terror. But something is different. Behind me, in the reflection, a figure stands silhouetted against the wall. Tall, gaunt, with eyes that gleam with an unnatural light. It hadn't been there before. It wasn't a trick of the shadows. My blood runs cold. My breath catches in my throat. I slowly turn, dreading what I might find, my every instinct screaming at me to run. Section 9. Silence. The room is empty. The storm rages on outside, but inside there is only silence. The heavy silence of anticipation. The kind of silence that makes your ears ring. The TV flickers. My reflection stares back. Alone. Or am I?